Okay, it's kind of back to the old version now. It's a little bit slow, but I think it's slightly better. Oh, there you go. It caught up, I think. Whoa, it did. It caught up pretty quickly. So it's only like 10 seconds off. It's not even like 10 seconds off now. It's like maybe 5 seconds. Not bad, Streamlabs and YouTube doing your thing. Not bad at all. Alright, so if that's the case, then that's not too bad whatsoever. It's pretty good now. Pretty good. Okay. Okay. Oh no! Is it dropping frames now too? No! Oh no. Seems to be okay. Hold together. Hold together. Alright. I think it's better. I think it's better, guys. And gals. Gals. And dragons. Alright. Question is, do I have time for a little bit of food? That is a real question. Tip stream episode 33 storyboard review Slayer. See if anyone is in here actually though. 2 concurrent viewers. Concurrent viewers. Oh, -6? What? Can I speed it up? Whoa! Did it just speed up to match the timeline? It did! Ah! This is magic! Okay, things are a lot better now. A lot better than before. Alright. You know what? I have something for this. Yeah, look at that. Boom. Oh, sick. Alright. Move that up right here. I'll be back, guys. I'm gonna get some food. Get a little snacky. Alright, alright, alright. How are you guys doing? It's been a long time since we last talked. Since I last streamed too. Oh, look at that. It's coming down. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a hot minute. Hey, William. Oh. Yeah, it's been a long time. I think it's been like 3 or 4 weeks now. There's a lot of stuff that came up. Oh my goodness. I forgot. Hi, Min-Maze. If you guys haven't uploaded your stuff, put it up in into the folder. Take a look tonight. Last stream of 2020 or 2019 leading into 2020. Yeah, it's been quite a journey. Less than a year ago I started this, and now look, it's just, we got regulars, we got 2 streams going. I know what I'm doing now a little bit more than usual, so maybe in 2020 I'll do even better, but I still have a problem with showing you guys what I'm actually drawing. Hey, Hugo. So I'll work on that, but yeah, 2019 has been pretty exciting. What is 29? You're the pig, I think is what it was. Whoop. And then it starts over the zodiac cycle starts over next year with the year of the rat. But yeah, this has been quite a journey, guys. 2019 has been a lot of firsts for me. Hopefully, first for you guys as well. You guys did. What is like one amazing thing you guys have done this year that you only started this year? I don't know what I'm drawing. I have no idea what I'm drawing. Kind of lost all my brain power at work from drawing today, so now I'm kind of like, oh no, what am I drawing? Cooking. What would you cook? What does anyone have any resolutions for 2020? 2020? Oh, nice. Minmay says, before I usually got takeout, but I've learned to cook. Like basic stuff, chicken, fish, pasta. That's good. It's I feel like cooking is just like art. I think we've talked about this before, but it's like a process where you slowly build up like a repertoire of recipes and skills. And over time it just gets easier and easier, and then you like freestyle stuff, and the joy of cooking, man. The joy of cooking. Who was that? Was that Julia Child? I'm Julia Child, and we're going to enjoy cooking today. So yeah, if you cooking's a great thing. I was kind of going to talk about that a little bit. Of course, we always talk about cooking on this stream, and how developing good taste is a lot like art. You have to like develop your palate for things that are good. But that's good. Anyone else? Iugo says 2020. I'm aiming to be more patient with my art. That's a good goal. I think that's something to strive for, actually. Hey, what's up, Adam? That is good. Oh, that's so good. I'm gonna get some tea, actually. I recently saw this clip of Kim Jong-il talking about being patient with your art and like working on kind of taking things slow. Let me see if I can find it. Kim Jong-il on art Twitter. Let me just type in Twitter. Anyone else have anything else people have done in 2019 that they were super proud of, super happy about? Anything new that you guys have started? Can't seem to find it right now. Basically, what he was saying is that with art, you kind of need to take pride in your work, and you need to do things slowly and deliberately. William says, I took 2 storyboarding classes in LA, so that was cool. Well, Hugo says, oh man, I'm craving some fire noodles now. Yeah, it's really cold tonight, so that would have been perfect. I just have some laksa that I took out the soup from, but just kept the soup base, and it's not bad. It's kind of like an Indomie. Are you guys excited about 2020? Excited about the elections coming up in 2020? Is that what everyone's excited about? Either the end of our democracy as we know it, or, just, I don't know. I don't think I want to get too political right now. 2020 should be interesting for a lot of reasons. Olympics. Haikyuu comes back. That's what I'm excited about. What else is happening in 2020? Yeah, I guess that's everything. Not too much going on in 2020, guys. Not too much. You should just skip that over. Go to 2021. I feel like this was like the last year of 80s movies where they're like, we're going to predict the future with in the distant future of 2015 and 2019. I feel like that doesn't happen quite as much anymore. In sci-fi movies, it's always now like in the year 31,455. Like, we're never going to hit that now, but back in the 80s, they just put it semi close to the future, and ever since then, we've noticed that the future is just boring. We wanted flying cars, and we got Teslas and Cybertrucks. We wanted rehydrated food, and we got Soylent Green. Just it is what it is. Hugo says, I'm ready to renew my contract with the darkness on my art. Hey, that's good. Animal Crossing. Oh yeah, Animal Crossing. That should be great. I think Fight Crab is also coming out 2020 on the Switch. Hey, Swarwolves. Minmit says, lol. Hugo says, I ended up making more comic ideas I want to work on. Hey, that's great. I think comics are a good way to practice storyboarding. It's just fun. They're fun. That is spicy. Too spicy. Oh shit, it's 8:02. Okay, when I start, I should stop drawing this. I can't help it. I used to be really good at drawing Hellboy in Mike Mignola style, but I kind of forgot a lot of it. There are like certain things to look for. This is not terrible, but it's not in his style. Let's see if I can finish this off real quickly. What's up, Dragon Scales? Nope, you didn't miss anything. We're just starting. So, we're not quite there yet. I'm just trying to practice my Hellboy that I forgot how to draw. I don't even know what the side of his head looks like, goddamn. Does he have ears? I think he has ears, right? He has like a top bun or something. He has like a receding hairline. He has like a samurai hair type shit. Technically, he's missing an eye too. Damn, I messed up. I done gone messed up. I think it's like that, right? Something like that. Is he a samurai? Does he have it? Does it come down like that? I just don't know anymore. Who am I? I used to love drawing Hellboy. Sideburns. Is that what it is? He has like crazy sideburns. Hey, that looks better. That looks a lot better now. Let's darken in a lot more stuff. Don't smoke, kids. When in doubt, black it out. That's what my old art directors told me. When in doubt, just black it out. Hey, now he's looking more like Hellboy. Okay, let's get this ball rolling. So, welcome back, guys. It is 2019, the last stream of the year. And thank you guys all for coming again. I really appreciate that you guys come out every night. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here, and I appreciate that. We're going to do one more storyboard review session before 2019 ends. And then 2020, maybe more of the same, maybe more lesson stuff. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly I want to do with the stream. I feel like it's useful, but I feel like I'm not optimizing my time and not optimizing the way I present the knowledge. So going forward, maybe things will change a little bit. But for now, we'll keep doing streams. We'll keep doing storyboard reviews, me talking about random stuff like food and whatnot, and telling jokes as always. Let's see if we can find a Christmas joke in here. Let's see if we can get a Christmas joke. Hey, this is close enough. What do you call a man with a beard who works with clay? because you know, a beard like Santa Claus. What do you call a man with a beard who works with clay? You caught Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Oh, that's really bad. That is really bad. They should have said something like, what do you call a wizard that works with clay? Harry Potter with a beard. Ah, that's really bad. Oh, that hurt even me. That is so bad. Okay, let's just keep moving forward. We don't need to talk about a joke anymore. We have some storyboards to talk about tonight. We got stuff from Swearwolves, and we also got stuff from Dragon Scales tonight. And before we get into that, I just want to talk a little bit about taste and developing taste as an artist. I think if you think about food and like the foods that you like, I think there are certain things we like, right? Personally, I love curry. I love things that have a lot of balance. I don't like things that are too sweet. I like a good balance between salty and sweet, crunchy and soft, and there's all these different types of textures and balances, and I'm not sure where this came from. I'm not sure where my taste for certain foods came from, other than probably my upbringing, like what my parents fed me and what was around me at the time. A lot of that food is Asian food just because I'm Asian. I grew up like with Asian food all the time, so I like a lot of those flavors. In a similar way, you know, you can apply that to like art as well, right? Like you can apply that to how you think about art, what art you like and what not. So in the same way that I grew up with Asian food, I also grew up with Asian media, Asian entertainment. And so I would watch things like Abarembo Shogun, which is like a Japanese time, feudal period samurai show that was great. And that has kind of like influenced my work. I also grew up with anime, so a lot of my work is influenced by that, as well as mangas, like the way they tell stories and the way they draw. I'm saying all this because taste is something that you can kind of control, right? You have your taste for your upbringing. So you have your taste that you get from like your parents, right? Your environment, let's just say environment tastes. And this is like what you grew up with, like what you grew up with. We can even make this argument, nature versus nurture argument. Nature, you know, there are certain things that we're predisposed to. Like just the same way that some people like spicy food and some people don't, we're also predisposed to some art styles over others. I personally like the Mike Mignola style, like this, and it's partly because I like the way he told stories. I like his comics. I like the spookiness of it all, and I liked Hellboy as a character, right? But I also like people like Musha, like Alphonse Musha, and I like drawing in that style. I like his artwork in a lot of ways, and also like Gustav Klimt. These two artists, Klimt and Musha, I did not grow up with. I learned of them through college and learned of them through like going to museums and stuff, and then seeing their work and be like, holy shit, that's really good. And that is part of more of the nurture side of things, or your, I guess, experimenting, tasting things, right? What you discover. Nurture, nature, nurture, right? And so if we think about this like art and how we go about developing our skills, you kind of need both. Environment gives you you're kind of like your foundation for what you first loved and the things that you just love because you love them. And then finding new stuff is stuff that you get that you find later in life that tickles your pickle but is not something you grew up with, right? And so you combine these two together and you develop your taste. This is basically your taste profile, right? Taste profile. In a lot of ways, I think they're in the same way that people love to eat very specific foods. I think that can become very detrimental to you as an artist as well. Like if you only like eating fast food all the time, if you only like eating like super greasy pizza, burgers, whatever's, you're limiting yourself in a lot of ways to just those foods. And they might be tasty, they might be great, but you're cutting off a huge variety that you can taste. Burgers and pizzas can only take you so far, and you don't have the ability to taste other flavors like sushi, or paella, or like mole. All these foods that are totally different and totally not at all related to pizzas or burgers. And as like as someone that eats food, you want to, like, if you're a food critic, you'd want to try all these things, right? You need to expand your range of things that you like. You need to let yourself be influenced by these things. You need to discover new things. In the same way, as an artist, you can't just like one thing, right? It's good to have your taste profile, what you like, but you should also be visually tasting all these other things, like French anime. What does that look like? French comics, they draw totally different. Chinese animation and Chinese art is also on the up and up. South Korean art has always been really strong, but the thing that people don't know about that is a lot of their artwork is in comic form, right? It's in those line comics? Yeah, line comics. And so you have to kind of go and find it a little bit more. You have to do a little bit more digging. Japanese art is very influential in a lot of ways, and at the same time, you also have to look at the old stuff, like the Renaissance stuff, and like all these older paintings and older artists. And so you have to be able to get a wide breadth of taste, so that what's the word? Expose yourself. So you have to expose yourself to everyone, so that you can learn to cultivate a better taste, right? Someone who only eats pizzas and burgers will not have a refined taste palette for more expensive foods or more delicate foods. You do not want to be like that type of person, because you want to be able to appreciate the wide variety of flavors and the wide variety of foods. As an artist, you want to be the same. You don't want to refine yourself or confine yourself to just American comics or just anime, right? You want to have a wide, diverse base of influences and a wide, diverse I guess, tastes of things that you've seen and draw from. It'll just make you a better artist. It'll help you solve problems artistically. Like, how do I draw this versus how does this other person draw this versus how does this other person draw it, right? Like Mike Mignola, just as an example, not a critique on him, like he draws Hellboy when he's standing like this, right? Like he just draws him like that. The horns and then the eyes. Right, he doesn't square off the shoulders at all, and he just lets everything be like a very blocky shape, which is fine. I'd have nothing against it. Yada yada yada. Like I love that. I love it personally. But then if you look at someone like Musha, who's totally different, he would probably draw it a little bit more delicately. Even this line right here felt more anime. Like I think his would be like, I don't even know if we would see that. It'd probably be something like that. Like he has very delicate lines with a very hard outline like that. Right? So you want to develop your taste so that you have more influences, so that you get better as an artist, so that you can appreciate other art. And the one side benefit of all of this is that other great artists are doing this. Other people that I work with have a huge, vast knowledge of movies and artists, and being able to talk to them about it and be able to share influences is also very helpful, because you just get better and better. If someone else likes that and then you like it, that means you're on the right track, and you want to like kind of you only want to have good influences in a weird way. In the same way that eating burgers and pizza will make you super unhealthy, if you just indulge in very, I guess, trendy or I don't want to say bad art, because all art has a purpose, but sometimes if you're not exposing yourself to different types of art, you might get caught in a rut and draw in one style, or you might not be able to break out of that style. So the final word is just diversify your taste. Look at good things because that will make you a better artist. And, you know, just try things out. Experiment. Maybe that's something to think about going into 2020. Kenny says taste can change over time too. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like the things that I liked when I was in high school are totally different than the things that I like now. And in that same way, the way I drew in high school is very different than the way I draw now. I think in high school I was drawing a lot more Pokemon style just because that was like really big, and I was also reading Hunter x Hunter, so a lot of times I would just draw people's faces like this. Like this is Ash Ketchum, right? And so I draw everyone like this. And then Golden's face is like this too, right? Like it's kind of weird how they're the same face shape, but because I was only exposed to very few influences at the time, I wasn't very good as an artist. Like I didn't know how to draw the head very well. I didn't know how to do a lot of things very well. But now I recognize that that's kind of more like the anime style. Their anime style, not the anime style. There is just what is of that type, right? But there's so much more, and there's so many other things. I just had to like, I saw other things. I was like, that's cool. I want to draw like that. That's cool. That looks great. I want to draw like that. Like, and over time, you know, everything starts to seem the same. Like the things that you drew in high school come back, and you can draw lessons from that as well. No pun intended. Pedro says, last Saturday I posted one ad called Effortless for my story portfolio on Twitter and Instagram. Thanks again, man. I just have that storyboard work for now. Is it enough for review? Yeah, we can look at that later too. Okay, so let's talk. Oh, let me be a shill for a little bit, man. If you guys haven't liked and subscribed the channel, do that. You know, hit that thumbs up icon, hit that bell, let you know when it's going on. Yeah, do all that fun stuff. I'm not a very good salesman for this. I don't like it when I'm watching something and someone's like, you know, subscribe. But it does help. I recognize that even though I dislike doing it and dislike seeing it, I recognize that when I remind people to do that, people actually do it. And I'm like, oh, cool. So I guess that's why people do it now, all right? Anyways, we're getting to Swearwolves' storyboards. And no title, but we'll just say it's The Castle. The Castle. So I haven't seen this before. Let's go through it. Pan up to a castle. Ooh, look at these shots. Look at those thick shots. Oh, some visual lasagna. Oh, look at that reveal. Oh, yes. This is what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, I'm digging it already. Oh, nice. And this is a nice little touch too. You had it panning over like that, like kind of like drifting, and then you keep it happening in the next shot, so it kind of just like blends together. Oh, I gotta bring out the stamp later. Looks down, size. Opens the window. Oh, wrap focus. Oh, brings out a knife. Go. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's nice. That is good. Trucks out, or just snaps out. Oh, nice, nice. This is good. This is good. I'm liking it. Jumps on the truck. And that's it. Okay. I like a lot of what I saw already. I think it's, hey, 2 thumbs up for me already. A lot of what you did is very good stuff. I like the layers to it. A lot of times people will start with like a very flat BG, but you didn't do that. You made it nice and chunky. I like that. Oh, this layered shot, very chunky. Foreground, middle ground, background stuff. Foreground, middle ground, background, and then you had to kind of like do that parallax. It's kind of like what I like to think of as like a 2D, 3D cheat. If it happened in 3D, it'd be like the camera would be orbiting around, but since you can't do that in 2D, you just have things move apart at slightly different speeds, and it creates a 3D effect with using 2D elements, which is very cool. You had some nice framing elements. You had some nice camera moves. A lot of this is really great. The acting is good. Your shot choices is very good too. I like everything like flows well together, right? Like all the shots make sense. You're not trying to have to like figure out where you are in the sequence. This is cool. I like that. I like that. That's cool. POV shot. The only thing I was confused about this, well, first thing first, nice shot. Like I like the composition of it a lot. This frames it very well. All this kind of frames it here, and the contrast is nice and high. Good stuff. I was only confused as to what we were looking at, just because this doesn't really read to me as like something important. It looks kind of like a cube, and I imagine that maybe there was like an idol, or if there's like a treasure chest, that would stand out a little bit more, but I'm not sure what it's for. Just I think just putting something. I'm hesitant to say to put something there, because if it is a chest, then it's like that's fine. It might just need, it might be a design thing later on when we'll make it pop out. Treasure box thing. Okay, yeah, then I guess it'll make more sense later on. So that's fine. Don't worry about that. Jumps. That's cool. Very cool. Ooh, flip over and land. Cool. Yeah, that's all great stuff. Yeah. Shot wise and composition wise, everything's solid. I like it. I like the drawings and whatnot. I like the shot flow. So good stuff on that. If I wanted to be nitpicky, I would say some of the poses are a little bit weird. Let me go back up a little bit. And this is just me being super nitpicky, but I think this shot right here feels a little weird. It feels like her neck is kind of broken a little bit. But this is just being super nitpicky. Like this is like one panel out of a bunch of panels, and I'm just like takeaway, good job. I'd love to see more of this later on. I think it's on, you're heading in the right direction for everything. I think your shot choices are great. Composition's great. This is just me kind of like, well, I feel like I need to say something, or else what did you come here for? Otherwise, like, normally I wouldn't comment on something like this, because I'm just like, well, you'll get pics later on. It's not a big deal. I think you're using the center line fine. Like that, right? Let's blow. Like, I think it's the neck is what's looking a little, like the neck and the head are looking a little weird. So I think when you turn any part of your body, when it twists or turns, can only turn at the most a 45 degree, right? So 45? Is it 45? 90? Is it 90? 45? I think it's about everything except the head is like 45, I believe. I think that's what Kevin Chen said, or at least what I remember from Kevin Chen's class. So if this is like, if you're looking down on someone's head, like this is their head, they're looking that way, and this is their rib cage, and then underneath is their pelvis. Your rib cage can only really turn about 45 degrees in either direction before you have to start turning the rest of your body. I think your neck is the only one that can go 90. So in a situation like this, I think the chest is fine. Is twisting a little bit too much here. And then the arm back there is like getting pulled a little bit in a weird direction, I think that's what it is. Like, it might work. It would just have to be, I think you wouldn't have the bend in the arm. It would just kind of be like straighter. This is a tough pose. I think the neck is extending too much. That's what I think it is, actually. this is a tough pose, but I think, yeah, if you just bring the neck in a little bit more, I think it'll work a little bit better. She doesn't have to bend down so far. I think I would even say you don't need that pose, actually. Like, I think going from here to here is fine, and then her reacting would be fine. I think going down even further doesn't give you too much more, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I think the previous pose was good, and then this one, she's just looking down even more. So I'm not exactly sure what we're getting from it. So if you don't want to have to like deal with like a hard pose like this, you might not even need it. Because I was like, wait a minute, what was the pose before this? But yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's just the neck was sticking out a little too much. It just felt a little bit weird sticking out that much. Conversely, I think if you wanted to keep the neck that far out, oh my goodness, Photoshop working me. You would just need to move Photoshop. If you wanted to keep the head in this position, oh my god, Photoshop, stop. If you want to keep it in this, god damn it. So my Photoshop is a little bit slow, so sometimes if I press the undo button, it doesn't switch to the brush, it just switches to the magnifying glass, and I start drawing, and well, we get what we get. You would have to just bring the rib cage over more, because I think the neck is too far from its body. So it'd have to be something more like that. We'd probably see a little bit more of the top of the rib cage. And then, oh my goodness, Photoshop, you're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. You would have the rib cage bend over like that, and that would cause the abdominal muscles to pull a little bit more. You would see this person kind of like tilt over more to the side to accommodate for that. Like that. This would probably like scoot out a little bit just to counterbalance her leaning over. Like that, right? This might be more like that. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Photoshop is like really bumming me out tonight. And then the arm might come down a little bit more to accommodate for that as well. Does that make sense? Like, because the neck seemed too far, you can either leave in that position and then have the body, the whole body adjust to make it work. Or in the other case, you just keep the head further back and you leave the body where it is. In either case, I think it works fine. And like I said, with the poses you have now, I think it works. You can just take it out altogether, because you could take out this pose and it still works. Other than that, I think it's good. I think your acting is good. I think your shot choices are good. And yeah, it looks great. So big thumbs up. Big thumbs up. If, yeah, keep going with it, and let's see what you get, because it looks great. All right. Werewolves. Oh, I should probably save this too, right? 2019. 12. What's it? 19th? 17th. Oh my god. Only 8 days until Christmas. And tip stream episode 33. I can't believe it's. Oops. I can't believe we have like just a week left before. You guys remember being kids and December seemed like the longest month ever. It felt like 25 days couldn't come fast enough. I remember in kindergarten we would make these kind of advent calendars with paper mache rings. So you would have a ring for each day, right? Every day you chop off one ring. At the very top you have a Christmas tree, right? And Christmas was the 25th day. And I would remember every day, like, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is taking forever. 25 days? How are people supposed to live like this? And now it just feels like Christmas sneaks up on me faster and faster every year. Like, I literally did not have time to buy Christmas gifts this year. Like, it just came so quickly that I'm just like, what the heck? Yeah, oh my god, I got so much shopping to get done. Anyways, let's go on to the next one. I believe it's Dragon Scales. 25 days is 10 years as a kid. Yeah, gee, it just took forever. It was literally too long. And now I wish I had more time. Like, oh my god, that'd be so much better. Okay. Sorry, I'm eating a little. Storyboard says, my birthday is Christmas, so I always hate it, to be honest, but I'm much more excited now that I'm older. Oh, shit. There was a... Let me look up the meme for that, because I think it's really funny. Just give me 1 second. It was a Dragon Ball meme. That's why I'm looking it up. Only for that reason. There you go. Here it is. Christmas present, birthday present, fusion. Born in December. There you go. Oh, this is a better one. Anyways, I'm sorry, Swearwolves. You know, it'll come back to you one day, somehow. Maybe in karma, maybe in good presents, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. Spaying by Dragon Scales, based on a true event. Fixing something, kid looks up. Daddy! Hey, kiddo, is your movie over? Keegan Spaying. What? Keegan Spaying the house. Spaying. Spaying isn't a word. Huh? Is he saying something? No. Spay in. Oh boy. Kiddo, I don't know what spaying is, and I can't come look right now. I really need to get this fixed so I can go to work tomorrow. How about I come and look in a few hours? How's that sound? No. Come now, you gotta come now. Drags him over. Matthew, stop. Pan down. I know you think this is really important, and Keegan's doing something in the house, but I really need to get this done today. And when I'm done, I'll come in, okay? Okay, Daddy. Atta girl. Mommy isn't gonna like it when she sees it, though. I'm sure. Gets up, walks away. Spang, schmang, spray. Cheese and crackers. Kids, where are you? In the living room. Oh my goodness. Spain. The end. Oh man. She meant spray. That was good too. Good stuff. I like your shot choices. They're good. They're not flat, which I think a lot of people tend to do with cars and with like very mechanical and square things. A lot of people like to shoot them on like flat on or from the side or something, but you did 3/4, which is smart. The shot is also good. I like how she comes up into the shot. I like that a lot. It's really funny. You might need to watch out for some of your scale, like your screen position issues. For example, this character seems very close here. Maybe they're like 2 feet apart, 2-3 feet apart. But in this, it seems like they're 10 feet apart now. So you might need to be careful there. Dragon Scale says he got everything: the walls, the couch, pictures. Oh my goodness. Was it spray paint or was it like WD-40? So you, getting back to the storyboard, you gotta be a little bit careful about your screen position, and that might help with some of your shots too. Just because it'll get, having those limitations will like kind of force you to choose certain angles that'll be cool. Yeah, like in this shot right here, she's back to being about 3 feet away. So okay, so let's take a look. Let's take a look. Right, so this is your first shot. I like it. I like it. I like what I'm seeing. Okay, and this shot seems a little bit further away. Black spray paint. Oh my goodness, that sounds terrible. I hope your parents didn't kill him. I hope he's still with us to this day. So if we were to leave the shot as is, that is fine. She would be something like maybe yay big. Well, based upon her head, it would be like something like that, right? He is still with us. Oh, great. He's not dead. Okay, that's what she looks like. Hey, we gotta make her into Hellboy. Nice. We'll give her the Hellboy look. So the head, pigtails, coat. And then legs. Oh, the legs go down pretty far actually because the car's here. Okay, so if we were to keep this shot and have the scale be the same size, like have them be in, if we were doing this shot but have them maintain the same screen position, it would be something more like this, not like this shot, right? If you're going for a long lens shot like that, that is something completely different. But I don't think that's exactly what you're going for. On long lens shots, things tend to flatten out. So things that are further away seem to come closer, and things that are further away come closer, and things that would have more dimension to them get very flattened. You could do it for the shot, but then to make this work as a flat shot now, like so that this was correct screen position for it to be a flat shot. This line here would basically be the line of the car, right? It would be like that. This line right here. This line and this line would be the same thing. And then the dad would kind of be in the shot like this, right? Like he'd be super close to her at this moment. Because that's how like a long lens shot would work. Let me just fill in this and I can turn out. Right? She would be super close right here. And he would be working like this over the edge of the car. So something like that. This would be what a long lens type of shot would do, just because it would flatten things out, like I said. It would bring things closer. And this type of shot works as well. My solution for both of these, because I don't think this one is very visually interesting. It gives you a good screen position, but it's kind of, we're just seeing him work on the car already, and we already understood that. This shot, on the other hand, you get even less information unless he like turns toward the camera, but it's kind of flat as well. So what I would suggest doing is actually kind of going reverse shot. So your first shot is like this, right? It's kind of an OTS almost of the guy on Maddie, the dad on Maddie. And then in this case, you could do the same thing. Have this be Maddie's head. Give her that sweet Hellboy jacket, of course, because all girls have sweet Hellboy jackets that they have in their closet. Right. This would be the edge of the car. And then the dad would like pop up this way. I might need to shrink 2 of them. right? So you have like shot, reverse shot. This is OTS of the dad. This is OTS of the girl. We might need to draw the girl a little bit different. I think her pigtails are a little bit off. But basically you get the idea. Something like this, right? This shot kind of gives us more of the girl's POV. I don't know if you would see the wheel well here, actually. If you frame it out even a little bit more, you could probably get in that framing element up at the top with the guy's head. We're kind of fudging this a little bit in terms of scale, just because we're a little bit closer, I think. Something more like that, right? So you get shot, reverse shot, and this works as well. This kind of has a little bit more dynamic angle to it. And we also get the dad's acting here, and we see that. So something to keep in mind, maybe a shot like this. Does he have a beard? I don't know. But hey, look at that. Shot, reverse shot. So that's something to try out. And then we go back to this. Yeah, so I like the shot, reverse shot, because this shot is now from kind of like the dad's POV. And so it just kind of flows together very well. This is fine. Keegan Spain. And then we can go back to the... If you want, at this point, you can go to that wide shot again. If you don't want to do shot, reverse shot, shot, reverse shot, you can go to that wide shot. Just to get there... Just to see a little bit more around them if you want to. Oh no, where did it go? Where did it go? Yeah, if you wanted to go to like a wider shot, just so that we're not so tight on them the whole time, that would be nice. Because I think if you just go shot, reverse shot, shot, reverse shot, and it's always close-ups, it'll get a little bit boring. So having this type of wide shot in there would be nice. It doesn't have to be this wide shot, or it doesn't even have to be this wide. You can do it a little bit tighter, but just give us a little bit of breathing room, because when you just go shot, reverse shot the whole time, things can get a little bit boring. People get a little claustrophobic and whatnot. So you need to vary up your shots and how close they are to the camera, how far away they are from the camera, things like that. And again, like I said, try not to have... Well, it's fine if things are just flat to camera. But in a wide shot like this, it would be nice if there was a little bit more dimension to it. And it'll still match. It'll match by having it kind of be like this angle of the car. It'll also match the shots I had set up earlier with a shot, reverse shot. So something else that'll work with it. Right. Just giving a little bit more dimensionality. Doesn't even have to be that much. Right. Right, so this is basically the shot, reverse shot we had from earlier, but just wider. Does that make sense? Let's move that down. You can see that you're not really having to redraw everything. It's mostly the same stuff. It's just wider framing or closer framing, and because of that, it helps keep things pretty easy to track while also giving you some visual variation and whatnot. Right, put in some houses back here, whatever you do. And gives it that depth, gives that nice. You can even put in some foreground elements here, put in a bush or something, maybe it's in the driveway, maybe a toolbox or something. Although his toolbox would probably be closer to him, but hey. Maybe he didn't think about it. Maybe he's like, oh, I'm just going to put my toolbox further away. I need to walk some more steps. Whatever. Maybe over here there would be something else too. Maybe a seat. I don't know. Anyways. Uh-oh. Did the stream drop? Uh-oh. 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 Is it still going? I think it's still. Oh, it's still moving. Oh yeah. So yeah, that's. Is everything okay? All right, let's keep going through this. I think the dialogue is fun and fine. That's cool. This is good. Yeah, like you kind of have the shots already there. No, spam. Okay, good. So, spay in. That's funny. Oh, no, I can't come look right now. She kind of disappears again here. I think you might need to put her back in. Just because she should be a lot closer to the car. Same thing with this shot. Like, she's right next to the car, I think. So, I think that is something to keep in mind. Spay. Also, watch out for the top of her head. She's kind of getting chopped off over here. Just drop her down a little bit, so that there's some space up there. Yeah, she's kind of far away when she should be really close. I think this is nice. You change the angle up, but be careful because I think they're falling into the ground. So if you set up, let's take this and talk about perspective. Everyone loves their favorite friend, perspective. Okay, so that's the first shot, and then they end up here like this. Unless they are on a driveway, like a slant, which is quite possible because they're in a driveway. If that's the case, then it's fine how it is, but I think they are falling into the ground, actually. They're sinking into the ground, and that's kind of an issue with perspective. So let's say this is your horizon line that you set up here. Excuse me. If this is your horizon line, right? It crosses the guy right here at his, just about a little bit below his knee, and crosses right at her stomach. So regardless of where they are in the shot, let's say we put them super far back, it should always cross just above his, just below his knee, like in the shot up here. Right? It does feel, I think the trees are kind of falling into the ground too, unless it's on a slant or something, but basically they should always hit in the same spot on him. Wherever the horizon line crosses a character, it should always cross that character in the same spot. Right? Right, our stomach or something. So if we know that that is the case where the horizon line is always going across at just below his knees, then in this shot here, it has to hit in that same spot. It has to hit right below his knees. In that case, then, let's say the horizon line is just about there. Then in that case, even though they're closer, like we can have them come very close. Like this. His knee. Right, like he needs to be, he would be something more like this, right? Then we'd start seeing the belt like that. She would be the same where it would cross at her stomach, so like, I'm thinking maybe it crosses at her waist because she's bent over in the first one, but it'd be something more like that, right?
a lot of times when I'm drawing characters like coming to or from camera, I will always try to ground them, or I'll always try to draw where they are standing on the ground, even if it's outside of the frame, just to make sure that they are existing on the same plane and existing in the same space. Otherwise, sometimes it can get wonky. Like if we were to end up tracking where she is in the shot, like it gets a little bit weird, right? Like it gets like they come down at a weird spot. Right? It's kind of like it doesn't really make sense now. So having the placement of their feet on the ground plane will really help solve a lot of your issues with perspective and with scale and whatnot. So try to do that as well. But like I said, since the perspective is like this, either you could either keep it where he's off screen like that, because I think that could be something interesting, and then maybe he bends down later on to talk to her. He's like, okay, like this is pose 1, and then pose 2, he like bends down. He's like, you know what, hon? It's okay, I'll take care of it later. To show that he cares about her, or maybe he doesn't even bend down because he doesn't care about her. But just watch your perspective is what I'm saying. Watch your perspective. Make sure they stay on the same plane. Oops, that's not the storyboards. Stop. Hey, he comes down anyway. Look at that. He comes down anyways. Wait. How come? Yeah, this shot is in perspective. This shot is in perspective, but this one isn't. Or I can't. I guess I would need more information, but this shot makes more sense. Like this feels about right. This shot feels a little weird because I think you went to a long lens shot and flattening things out, but the car should be a lot closer. Should be a lot closer. And I would probably go, since you started in a profile shot here, I'd probably go to like an OTS or something instead, because I think that would play stronger. You would get to see more of the dad's expressions, and so it would be something more like this is a girl, pigtails. This is the dad. Hey, Pumpkin, I really need to get this done. If I don't, then I'm going to be fired. And you know what happens when I get fired? I get angry, like the Hulk. And then I have to go take anger lessons. And, you know, I really don't want to have to do that again. The instructor is terrible. He doesn't know anything about anger. How can you teach the Hulk about anger? I mean, I'm the Hulk. I mean, so babe, Pumpkin, bean sprout, potato, spud, whatever you want to call yourself, just, you know, give me a break. I'm doing my best. I used to be a Pokemon master, and now look at me. I'm fixing cars. Pidgeot left me. Butterfree left me. Charizard's at some type of reserve, and now I just gotta get to work. You know, Brock is not the nicest boss. He's kind of a hard ass, if you know what I mean. I feel like I'm between a rock and a hard place. It's just not the same anymore. So I'd go with something like this, maybe something a little bit more OTS. We still keep Maddie in here, but we want to see more of the dad's expression, and then we can go to a reverse shot too if we want to get Maddie's expression. And this is where you can kind of get a little bit you can get a little mise-en-scène where you can do maybe an up shot of her looking, or maybe a down shot if you want to do a down shot, maybe to indicate that he has more power and she has to look up at him. It's like, no, you know, very very childlike, where you're always having to look up at people and you don't want to, and you're like, no, I'm trying to save you. It was your fault that Pidgeot ran away. You gave him away. As soon as he became good, you always give your Pokemon away. You wouldn't have to be here. You could be like Gary and have your own Pokemon training center and everything if you were just a better trainer and didn't give away all your Pokemon. So yeah, this is more like, this would be the OTS shot of the previous shot that we just saw. Kind of a little bit more down shot to indicate she doesn't have quite as much power in the situation. She's kind of, she's a kid. What can you do? You're a kid and you kind of have to just listen to your parents a little bit. But the acting's good. I like the acting. Okay, daddy. Walks away. Atta girl. Walks away. I like this part too. Mommy isn't going to like it when she sees it though. I like that like little side. I'm sure. I would like one pose where we see his face in contemplation without Maddie in the shot. Just be like, huh. Oh, okay. And then he's like, I'm sure. Misty's always mad at me. It's fine. It's not like she's a Pokemon master anymore either. It's fine. We're both, washed up. Walks over. You probably could even keep it in the shot. You don't even have to go to the closer shot. I think it would be fine if you just kept it in the wide shot the whole time. And it's like, Spain, say, hydro pump, cheese and crackers. I like that too. The cheese and crackers is really funny. But you could just keep it in this wide shot. You don't have to go closer. I think it would just play funnier because you have it just stay on him and you know something's up. You know something's going to happen and then it happens. So you can just keep it in the wide shot. You don't have to go closer per se. It's good, kids. Where are you? Again, watch out for your perspective. Like, it seems like the horizon line is right at his knees. And so in this shot, if he gets closer, it should be at his knees. So just be careful of that stuff. Is that his knees? It's maybe at his waist. It looks more at his waist. Just a little bit low below the waist. So make sure when he comes closer, his waist should be up here. His waist should be up higher. Walking around, looking around. Also, if he's going to walk right to left in this shot, make sure, I would say have him go right to left in this shot. Otherwise, just have him go left to right here and then have him pop out left to right here. That's fine. Ooh. 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 That's great. Yeah. That is good. The last POV shot is really great. I like that. I like it all. So, I guess the takeaway is be careful about be careful about how far things away are from each other. How their screen position is. Like, if someone's 2 to 3 feet away in one shot, make sure they stay that far away from each other in the next shot. And the other one is watch out for your perspective, wherever the horizon line crosses the character, make sure that it always crosses that character at the same spot. So if it's going to cross just below their knees, make sure it crosses just below their knees, right? Wherever it hits. And that's about it. But otherwise, I think the story is really funny. It's nice and tight. You have some good dialogue in there, and I think you have the shots in your head. It's just kind of making it work now, right? Like, I can clearly see that you understand shot flow. It's just kind of like the technical side needs a little bit of work, but other than that, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so does anyone have any questions about that? Pedro. Anyone have any questions? If you guys don't, let me look up the tweet where you had your storyboards, Pedro. Let me see if I can find it. Dragon Scales, I have a question. Yeah, shoot away. And Dominic, if you have stuff you want to put in the folder, put in the folder. It's still pretty early. It's only 9 o'clock. I'm looking for that other tweet. Otherwise, Pedro, can you like link it to us? Pedro AV underscore. Okay, I can find it. Yeah. There you go. Whoa. Hold on. Upload it. Okay, cool. Dragon Scale says, I want to apply for a story internship or apprenticeship. What should I approve on overall? Based upon what we saw, what we all saw tonight. How's my anatomy? The skill. I think for comedy stuff like this, your anatomy doesn't have to be super tight. It's more gestural. Like you should be trying to go for more gestural at this point because that's kind of what they would be looking for. I think my recommendation would be just like watch your forms a little bit. You don't have to be super perfect with your anatomy. Like I said, it should be more, because it's kind of like more of a comedy and more feature in its presentation. I would say just watch your forms, right? Like if this is a person, right, you don't have to draw the full rib cage, just kind of like an egg shape a little bit more, and then that, right? Like things are kind of just like sliding all over the place here. If I were to kind of like draw your rib cage, it wouldn't really work too well. His back, he should be a little bit thicker is what I'm saying. We need more thickness in his body. We need things to like wrap a little bit better as well. And so let's go through this really. Let's go through this together. So what I mean by like kind of watching your forms is if this is like his shape, his body shape, and like the pit of his neck here, you need to give it a little bit more roundness. Same with like the waist here, right? Like, and then the butt sticks out. Yeah, give him that dad butt. That badonkadonk. That's a car. That's a car. Don't worry about that. We'll draw it a different color. Car. But you just need your shapes kind of like have more volume to them right now, because I think the shoulder wouldn't just pop off like that. You can see how it's like just coming off of the rib cage. The shoulder kind of like locks in like that, right? Same thing with this side. The clavicle locks in like that. And you don't have to draw that per se, but you do need it to like overlap properly. Right? Same thing for this side. Let me draw on slightly different colors so we can see it. Like I think you have some of it there already. I think some of it is there. Like this is getting there. Same thing with the head. You know how baseball caps work. So just when I'm drawing baseball caps, I try to think of how it sits on the head. Like I think of the front panel as like one, kind of like ashes a little bit. So that's a good landmark. You want to kind of like match up with the head a little bit. The way that without the bill, it kind of just wraps around the head like a beanie like that, and then you add on. What I'll end up doing is add on the bill afterwards. This is good. That's good. You know, and the beard's fine. I think the beard is fine. It might need to come out a little bit more because I think it's, unless he has a very short beard, which is fine, but I think it's at times it looks like it's getting a little bit too small. I think the expressions are really good in this. I like that. But yeah, it's just watching your forms. It's more about watching your forms and making sure that they are. Give him that booty. Never fear that booty. Kay says David's sage advice for everything and make it thicker. Yes. Make your dad a thought. Give him that thought bod. Never fear the booty extra thick. Yeah, just making sure your forms kind of like rotate properly. I think this is kind of like what you are drawing your dad as, like kind of like that barrel chested a little bit, big arms, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Just try to think about what that looks like as a 3D object, right? Like these are kind of like tubes a little bit. So when you draw them as tubes, make sure they maintain their size. Same thing with the dad bod and the dad everything, right? Like just make sure they maintain their shape when you turn them. I think Mr. Incredible is like kind of a good reference for that as well, because he's not, he looks human, but he's actually very stylized, but they still keep the shape, right? Like this is kind of like, if I were to turn your dad bod, this is kind of like what it would look like from the side, right? So just make sure you maintain those forms. Same thing with the legs. Just maintain those forms. Oh man, this drawing's a little wonky, but I think you get what I mean. Even her, I think with clothes, it's really hard sometimes to draw clothes. I remember when I first started storyboarding, I'd be like, okay, I'm ready for this. I can do this. And then I would realize, like, I've never really drawn clothes before. I did a lot of figure drawing, but I never drew people with clothes on. So I had to actually go back and study clothes figure drawing a little bit. And then after I kind of understood that a little bit more, I realized that the way you draw clothes is not exactly how it always looks. For instance, like a shirt, when you draw a shirt, or when you wear a shirt, like a t-shirt, like let's say there's a t-shirt, boop. The seam of the shirt where the sleeves connect to the shirt isn't exactly at your shoulder. It's not straight with your shoulder. If it happens like that, the shirt feels weird. It's actually off to the side a little bit. It's at the point of your shoulder over here. But when you're drawing shirts like Homer Simpson, for example, like, right, like that seam is always right where the shoulder and the arm connect on the body. Let me do a better drawing. Let me do a better drawing of this so you understand what I mean. Like, let's say this is a shirt, right? If you were to wear a shirt, this where the sleeves connect on the shirt is actually off to the side. It's off to the side a little bit like that. If you're wearing a shirt now, check it. I can almost guarantee you it's off to the side just a little bit like that. Like, it's not here. This is how I would normally draw it, but this is where it is in reality, right? Reality versus mental, right? Mental versus reality. And why does that matter? It's because when you're drawing like sleeves like this, you don't actually have to draw it how it would normally look, right? Like you would put lines in to turn the form. You want to put the lines in so that it actually like rotates the form visually. It doesn't have to make sense like fashionably in terms of like, oh, the seam is actually over here. So because of that, it sits nicer on the body. No, you don't actually have to draw it like that. You can just draw it so that it turns the form better, right? Like a lot. That's why the center line is always nice, because it helps turn the form. It helps give you a very clear delineation of how much the body is facing towards the camera, how little it is. Right, so like even this might be up a little like that. And so a lot of times I'll draw this seam right here. I'll draw this shoulder seam just so that it pops out from the rest of the torso here. This shoulder seam helps give it that overlap, it pops it out. Same thing on this side, like I'll draw it a lot of times and then I'll give that, like you have it here and there's like a little fold there, I'll usually give that too. But everything should kind of be like turning the form. Use your lines to turn the form. It doesn't always have to make sense. And this is something I learned from another artist, is it just has to like turn it and make it convincing. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to get the idea across perfectly. Right, so everything you draw on these characters should kind of like help turn the form. And you can be gestural about it. That's fine if you're gestural with it. It should just help turn it though. Yeah, drawing clothes is hard. It's a whole other thing. It gets easier when you do more figure drawing, but it's something else that you have to study. Like folds are a whole different world of pain. But the only reason why I bring it up is because I was saying like use the seams in the clothes to help you convey shape and form and whatnot. That's what it's there for. Right? Like you only see wrinkles at most of the time you only see wrinkles at joints where things overlap and whatnot. So ha, Rosie says, I don't know, this seems excessive. That's good. That's real good. But yeah, I would say just make sure your forms are there, and that'll help improve it a lot. I think your acting is fine. I think your shot choices are fine. It might just be like a little bit more confidence to your line, a little bit more form. Try the form thing and really like work on that, making them feel solid. Like it feels like his head is kind of like just melting into his body a little bit. Just give a little bit more structure. A little bit more structure. So like, we won't use that. So like, if this is middle line, this is like his egg body, right? Egg body, give him that dad egg body, right? What are these tubes doing? Like, what does this tube look like? It's like rotating like that, right? And then this tube goes this way, like that. And then his hand is kind of like a brick like that, right? So we're looking for these overlaps like that. The tubes. Get the tubes out. This is a little bit more complicated because the way the forearm turns makes it a little bit complicated because they're crossing over. Or are they crossing over? No, they're not crossing over. See, it's difficult. Just get your tubes in there. Right, but this tube looks a little bit longer than the other one, so you might need to shorten it to accommodate for that. Same thing with the arm here. It seems to be I think it would actually be out like this. Pull tubes. They're just cylinders, and sometimes to like convey the shape, or to sometimes in more difficult poses, I'll just go back to like cylinders to like really help me understand if it's turning away from me like this or turning away the other way. Like this one is turning like that, right? And this one's turning the opposite direction, right? Like it's, you use it to help you convey the angle of the arm and stuff and whatnot. So sometimes I'll use tubes like that just to help me convey what's going on, just mentally to me. And then I'll go back and fix it up later on. Even his head maybe like might need a little bit tilting down a little bit. Oh gosh, I don't think I can win with Pikachu anymore. It's just not the same. Like kids these days are using like Rayquazars, and you know they're starting off with all these strong Pokemon. And I just have Pikachu. It was not even one of the starters. How do they really expect? How does Misty really expect me to be a Pokemon master? It's just not possible. It's just I need to go out and get some rare candy, find a missing number, and clone it. And I know that's cheating, but I got a family to feed, and we can't just keep eating Brock's Pokemon pellet food. It's just not. I'm getting tired of it. I want to try Tauros again. I want some Tauros and some Kingler for a change. So yeah, something like that, right? Like you just want to make sure your forms are preserved. I'm not sure what's happening with his chest over here. We might need to see it overlap the car if it's the shirt. Like that. Even this, like, I would kind of need to figure that out more. But right, like, so that's kind of like what I would start from. And then from there, like, if I needed to clean it up more, I'll go back and then add in the gesture. The gesture it over. Right? Now that you have like the structure, you can kind of do your gesture lines over that now, and you don't have to worry so much about like, am I drawing it correct? It's, and you get that sweet gesture afterwards. That sweet gesture. And you use all those lines that you thought about before to help you really turn the form. Turn that form, right? I drew those tubes to help me turn the form, so I'm going to use them to help me turn the form now. Right? So basically that's what you do. You go back in later on. I think this needs to get fixed though. Put in the lines and ba bing ba boom. Okay, kids these days showing up with their 6 Lugias. I know. Oh man. Join Team Rocket. Use a Game Shark or Jelly Donut. Jelly Donut. Goes and Google's. Yu-Gi-Oh says, I hate to tell you this, bro, but Misty and Brock are doing Pokemon fights behind your back. Baby sharing jelly donuts and everything. No! No! Just like my mom and Mr. Mime. No! So yeah. In all seriousness, just watch your forms, and I think that'll take you a long way. Just keeping those forms in mind when you're drawing. And like I said, you can do it in multiple passes. That's something I did a lot when I first started out. I'd try to like get the forms down right and then go back and do the lines better. All right. Hopefully that helps you out. Wait, where am I going? Let us look at the video. Hopefully there's no copyright music on this. Not a problem. Not a problem. Let me see if desktop audio is on. It's not. Okay. Let's see if there's some music on this. Let's make that bigger. Hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back and watch it. Oh, why is it stopping? Uh-oh. Twitter has some issues with it. There you go. 0. Oh, nice. AB poses. I'm digging it. Looks up. What does he see? Hello. Hi. Gets up. Steps forward. Walks out. Punch. Handshake. Fist. Fist of the North Star. Cool. Cool. I think there's some cool things here. It's over 0 to 100. Okay, let's stop there. I would be careful with camera moves that go like back and forth. So we have a camera move here where Twitter. Let's see if we can go. Let's see if we can go to your Pedro AV Art Instagram. Oh no, Instagram you can't do it either. Ah shit. Twitter's not good for rewinding things, unfortunately. Alright. Just pay attention. There's gonna be a so it pans right to left here. And then it goes left to right again. Pans right to left. And then left to right. And then zoom in. Like I think that's too many camera moves already. Like I don't think you should be going right to left and then left to right and then truck in. Usually if you're going in one direction, you stay going in that direction. So if you're going right to left, you keep going right to left. Or you go from like right to left to like a truck in. But like yo-yoing is what it's called when you go one way and then the other way, or up and then down, up and like you don't want to yo-yo around because it'll confuse the audience. It'll make them sick. So in this case, like even this, I don't think. So if you're going right to left, I don't think you need to necessarily go left to right. And I don't even think you need to show this guy's face because you don't show his face the whole time. And the story still plays without it. You might just want to cut around it. Either that or start with this shot. So we have this shot, right? Wasn't there another one before it? 0. Oh my god, Twitter, you're killing me. Like, maybe take out that first shot and just have it go from him to from the winner to the loser guy. And I'm not exactly sure what he's looking at right here. I don't 100% get it because we don't see a front-on shot, and I don't know if he's like fighting him or like I'm not exactly sure, right? Like I'm not if he like he's not punching through him or something. It looks like a goddess or a god, to be honest, that he's punching at. So if that's the case, then I'm just a little bit confused with some stuff. Also, I think his pose right here of being like angry doesn't, like, he's angry, but it feels like a weird transition, right? Because like right here he looks like very defeated. It's like, and then now he's getting angry. I think we need to see that transition of him going from like zoned out to like angry, and then he goes back to zoned out here. Like it's a little bit confusing what his emotions are. So if he's zoned out the whole time, have him stay zoned out, or if he starts off angry and then goes to zoned out, that's fine. In the same way that you don't want yo-yoing with the camera, you don't want the yo-yoing to happen with their emotions unless it's motivated. So be careful with that stuff. I think you just need to like clarify what he's looking at. I think that'll help out a lot. I think even adding in a shot, instead of it being this shot per se, like he looks up here, and maybe instead of a OTS of it, it's the other way, right? It goes to something more like this. So this is our hero here. He just lost. And he looks up. And this is our this is Hellboy. It's just Hellboy. He sees Hellboy standing in the ring. He's like, what the hell? How could you lose? I trained you. You were the chosen one. Right, and then we pan up to reveal it. Gotta give him his belt with the guns. Oh boy, how could you fail me? You were the chosen one. Anung Arama. Is that what it's called? Oh, I forget. Anung Arama. The right hand of doom. Oh, I forgot to give him his hand. Yeah, so then have it pan up. Have it pan up from here. There. That way you don't have to go back to the OTS. And then we reveal it at the same time. I think there's something here. I think you have a good idea. Like, you have an idea of what you want to tell. I think it's just kind of like simplifying the shots down a little bit more, and it'll read a little bit clearer. Punches, right? And I think that's... Yeah. I think also clarifying his emotions, like if he starts off from like out of it to angry and then goes back to being like, okay, I have another chance at this, that's great. Or it could be the other way, like angry to out of it, and then he's like, I learned something from it. So yeah, I think just clarifying some stuff will help out a lot, and simplifying some of the camera moves will go a long way. Oh, what is this drawing? Whoa. Oh. Buff. So buff. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. He tries to catch or reach, but he can't. Yeah, that's totally cool. I think if that's the case, then maybe just at the point when he reaches for it, maybe have Twitter. Damn it, Twitter. You're making this impossible. Like, have it get close to the person. Like, just... I think we just need a little bit of context of where that fist is. He drew hands really nicely, by the way. Very nice looking hands. Yeah, if he's punching like that, then have it be like close to Hellboy, or maybe it goes through Hellboy. I don't know. It depends on what you want to say, but it should be... We need context for where it is, and maybe later on, like, he'll vanish. He'll be like, ooh, I'm a ghost. I'm Ghost Boy. I think we just need context for where the fist is. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Hey, it's not your problem, Pedro. Don't worry about it. I mean, it's just Twitter. It's all Twitter's fault. Dragon scales. Not a problem. KD is like, why is it that Twitter is like 2-second GIF? I don't know about that one, Chief. Let me take 10 years to think about it. Dude, it's just rough. It is rough. Cool. If you have any questions, pull them up in the chat. Let me look at the drive again. Someone said they uploaded some work as well. Adam and Domensio. To look at later. Yeah, Dragon Scales says, will your notes be available to look at later? Yeah, I always pull them up in the same folder that you upload your work in, so I'll put it up there afterwards. You can always find it there. Let's download it. Whoa, look at these drawings. Wow. Oh man. I feel like I haven't done this in a while, which is true. I do miss looking at you guys' work. It's cool. Always fun stuff to look at. Always something new to look at. It's great seeing people's stories. So this is Adam's Chase. I wonder if we've seen this one before. Anyways, desert. Oh, I think we did. How many of them are back there? More than enough. Let's try and lose them in there. Make a pass by that big one. Oh wait, my bad. That was a... Oh no! Ah! Pan up. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, it's a tracker. It's a tracking fob. Is this the Mandalorian? This is the way. To be continued. Oh, cool. Cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. Then yeah, the drawings are really nice, really simple and clear, but the sound effects took years to perfect. This is I'm so good at it because I would make these same sound effects while riding my bike when I was a kid. I was like, yeah, this was like I always thought I was riding a speeder bike from Return of the Jedi, so I always make those sounds like biking. I'd be pedaling like, so I got them on lock. I got the speeder bike on lock. Other things I might need a little bit of work with, but the speeder bike. So you're definitely playing to my strengths. This is cool. This is cool. My only suggestion would be, that's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. I was gonna say we need to see the bad guys earlier, but I think where it happens is fine. I would say have it be a cooler reveal. Like we just see them go past camera here, and then we just cut to a shot of the bad guys. Like I think like maybe like they gain into camera would be really cool, or pan up, or like a truck in or a truck out on them would sell it a little bit more. It does seem to just like happen, and I'd like to have like a cooler reveal. Let's try and lose them in there. Yeah, so let's take that. I wouldn't say perfect sound effect. That's being a little too generous. You should hear my girl voice when I do girl. It's always like, "Hey, I'm Elsa." I just can't do girl voices. I don't think I don't know how to do them. It's not that I'm opposed to it. I just haven't really perfected it. So yeah, if this is like, I think it would be cool to start from a smaller part of it and then like widen out to reveal the bad guys, or pan up to reveal them. Like even like a slight drift over from this to that would be fine. Even something like this where you start off like a little bit tighter and then you truck out to reveal them. I think the other thing that I'm kind of like bumping up against with the reveal of the bad guys is that we kind of see them already. We see them earlier in this shot, and so the reveal of the bad guys isn't as cool because we already see them in this shot, and then we see them. Like I always like to reveal the bad guys. The first time we see them, I like to have like a big boom bat, like they are the bad guys. Like try to lose them in there. Like you after this, you could put in the shot of the bad guys, right? Like try to lose them in there, and they zoom off and go, and then maybe the camera stays here and it's like, and then we cut to the other speeder bikes coming in like, and then we have like a cool reveal of them, right? Like if they go off in this shot, and then we have these guys gain into camera, and then we truck out to reveal them, that would be a much cooler reveal of the bad guys. And then we can have them do the chase sequence in here, and that would be fine, right? And then we wouldn't have to reveal them in this shot. We could just go to more of the chase sequence, right? Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you get it. Like you could take the reveal and put it earlier and then keep the movement happening. Because this stuff is really cool. Like I like this stuff. Let's go. I don't know why he didn't keep swiping at them. He kind of swipes at them and then he doesn't use it anymore. I think for action stuff, you always want like a beat of 3. So like 1, 2, 3 swipes, and then maybe after the third swipe, he like breaks the staff, or they break the staff, or 1, 2, 3, and he hits them and something happens. With only 1, it feels a little weird, and then for him to switch weapons so quickly, it feels weird. Either expand upon this beat with the staff, or just go straight to the shooting, which is also fine. That's cool. This shot's really cool. I like this shot a lot. That's cool. I like that. Oh! No, Jimmy! This is cool too. I like that. That's dope. That's dope. Whoa. You might want to have it track with the bike as it explodes. Just because the explosion's much cooler. Or maybe I just like explosions. Maybe I just like explosions, so... Jimmy was just 2 days away from retiring. You rebel scum. He had a family and kids. How could you do that to him? Not Jimmy. He was the best of us. So, like, he can jump off that way, but maybe it'd be cooler to just see the explosion, like... instead of tracking the guy. And I think it seems a little bit more reasonable that he wouldn't jump straight up per se, like how you have it in the sequence. Like he like kind of catapults off of it. I think it'd be fine to have him just jump off like at an angle like whee, like that way. That seems reasonable too. Like he's just going with the momentum of the bike and it explodes. So that might be more reasonable than him like pushing off of the bike. But I think the action sequence is cool. This is cool. This is a cool shot. I like that. Take that, Jimmy. Jimmy Neutron. Cool. I like that. Cool. Cool. Jimmy! But other than that, like I think it's looking good. I like your usage of tone. I like the shot choice. I like the action. I like your style of drawing too. It's loose but solid and has a lot of energy to it still. That's cool. I like the drop shot. Yeah, drop shadows, baby. They make everything look cool. Yeah, I think you just might need to add a beat there, but that's cool. No. Yeah, cool stuff. Everything's solid. Solid. Other than the small little beats, I think it's working well. Here you go. Alright, rip Jimmy. He was the best fighter in the group, and now his kids have to grow up without him. That's what turns people into Siths. Let me just tell you. Dragon Scale says your shots were dope, Pedro. They were. I think your storyboard was also cool. But for real though, love this storyboarding sequence. It was fast paced and cool. Characters pop. Yeah, this is good. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Adam Chase. Are you Adam Driver by any chance, Adam? Are you Kylo Ren? I just want to know, because if you are, I'd be like, what? Adam Driver wants to get into storyboards and he's doing Star Wars storyboards. That'd be nuts. I'd be like, my mind would be blown if you were. Adam says, amazing, thanks, but is there anything in particular you think I should focus on getting on a TV show? Maybe. I would just say add more to it. It's right now, hold on, let me go back to it. I think what you have is pretty good. Like, the things that I pointed out are small things. Like, they're like more story notes and like nitpicky stuff, but overall I think you have the chops. Like, some of the drawings are a little bit loose, but they read. I think a lot of it is working. I think it plays really well. It has good timing. So I think just adding more to it would help out a lot. it does seem a little bit short, and there is a little bit of story, but we're not. This is more like an action sequence than anything, so that's cool. Like, there's nothing like if you want to get an action show, you need this. I think having other stuff like maybe like a dialogue sequence with people, or maybe like a dramatic moment would help, or even extending this out a little bit more. Like, let's say they escape and then the two of them are like sitting down by a campfire being like, I can't believe we got away with that. Like, we killed Jimmy. Like, he was gonna kill us. We were dead to rights, and somehow we got Jimmy this one time. And they're like, oh, like, but Jimmy, let's pour one out for a good bad guy, and then like pour out their blue milk, and so you just, I think it's just a little bit more content, and like the sequence is playing pretty well. If you want to extend it out, that'd be nice, or like I said, a different type of sequence, that's also good too. It's just at this point, I think it's just quantity, to be honest, because looking at your work, it looks pretty professional. Adam says, so maybe quantity of scenes in my portfolio as well as expanding this. Kind of. Like, I think maybe just a talking sequence with them. Maybe like a talking sequence. And then maybe a little bit like another action set piece or something like that resolves the story. Just because I think it's only about 137 panels, which isn't a whole lot. If I were to see this like in a multiple things, he's skilled, he knows his shot choices, he can draw, etc., etc. So just expanding a little bit. Katie says, cut to informing Jimmy's next of kin. Not Jimmy. Dragging scales. Maybe not with current IPs. While it's good to practice with people want to see your stuff. Action, comedy, heart, life, fantasy, sci-fi. Oh. Yeah, just like a little bit more variety and expanding it. But I think you're on a good track. Honestly, I think if you were to apply just with this, you might get a callback. You might have people asking for more stuff, and they might give you a test. I think if I were just to see this, I'd probably be like, more stuff or a test, to be honest. Because I think the hardest parts about storyboarding are understanding like shot flow and shot choice and composition. So I think you have those down. It's just having more work at this point. Yeah. Adam says, yeah, I can take it further. I took it from an existing script, which is why I only made it this long, but can totally take off with it with my own story ideas. Yeah. I think adding in some other things other than a chase sequence will be good. Like if you add in a talking sequence, like I said, or like a different type of action sequence, that would help out a lot. I would definitely say try do like a talking sequence with the two of them or with whoever, and have that, that would be a nice complement to a chase sequence. So we are going to, I hope that answered your question, because I do think it looks pretty good. Cool, I can play with sound. Sick. Oh,
your
sorry,
crew was no match, and your ship is now
something. Wait. Cool. Desktop audio on. Let's get this party going. So this is from Dominic Romano. Sorry, I was going. Okay, let's take a look.
Your crew was no match, and your ship is now sunk beneath the sea. Your days of evil are over, Captain Black Sky.
Oh.
What? Allow me to introduce myself.
Whoa.
Swashbuckler Direfleet Daniel, champion of the merry men who forward a personal justice of stopping evil on the great seas. Yes, it all started on that day. I was only a child. No more than...
No! I'm talking about why you pirates attacked us and sank our ship.
You can save your words. I'm not interested in what vicious deeds you... Wait, why is the water brown? Why is the water around your ship turning brown?
Yarg! We were exporting coffee beans.
Stealing from farmers. As per usual, your pirate's greed knows no bounds.
No, we grew it ourselves. It was for charity.
We? As in your pathetic rapscallions of a crew sleeping with the fish bubbles? They were no match for us. We live and breathe the sea.
No. That wasn't my crew. Those were just unloved orphans. I was going to find them families once we came ashore.
You are the man on this poster, yes?
Yes. Aha! So you admit to your crimes. I mean, I got that protecting endangered species. My government is super fascist.
This is good.
Surely you have other felonies, past crime, perhaps?
No, I'm actually very clean.
Anything on your conscience? Maybe when you were younger or, like, I don't know, under the influence?
I am straight edge.
What about that evil scar, huh? What's the story there?
Oh, I hit my head on a door when I was 5.
What's your credit score?
I have a platinum card.
Say you're eating at a diner, right? You go to leave.
You just have to push in the chairs.
Do you tell your girlfriend what to wear?
That sounds so toxic.
Well, it looks like we're at an impasse because somebody has to drown with the fish bubbles today.
What do you mean, fish bubbles? This is obviously a misunderstanding. We should all just go home and talk things over. I can order us pizza with pineapple on it.
Okay, this is really good. I think it's really
crew was no
funny.
match.
There's your shot choices are good. Your acting is good.
And your ship is now
I think
sunk
the
beneath
pacing
the
is
sea.
really good.
Your days of
Oh man, yeah, it's really funny. This is really funny too. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, yes. Very, very cool. The sharks were killing me. I think, okay. Overall, it's great. I think the timing is good. I think the acting is good. I think the drawings are good. I think the pacing is good. My only thing would be like, I think there's some poses in here where you actually have
I'm
dialogue,
not
but
interested in
his
what
mouth
vicious
isn't open.
deeds you... Wait, why is the water brown? Why is the water around your ship turning brown?
That's so good.
We were exporting coffee beans.
Stealing from farmers.
See, like this one, like this, like in this pose, he's obviously talking, but his mouth pose is closed. I would just kind of like hook that up, and I think it, from what it seems like you had a little bit more time on the front end of things, and so kind of like at the back end, you had a little bit less time. I think just adding in like making sure it's open mouth here would help a lot, and a couple other shots where that happens. And I imagine when you have more time, you'll probably add more poses, but right now it's playing really well.
As per usual, your pirate's greed knows no bounds.
No, we grew it ourselves. It was for charity.
I think maybe on that, I think there are like a couple shots where I'm like, maybe we want to see a front shot of the Black Scar pirate. Like this one might be it, and then cut to this wide shot where it's like, but that's like super nitpicky, and I think that's just subjective.
As in your pathetic rapscallions of a crew sleeping with the fish bubbles? They were no match for us.
Yeah, just make sure the mouth pose is open. I think all the dialogue is there. It's just you just need to have
We
open
live
mouth.
and breathe the sea.
No. That
I also think it's funny. I think it's funny that the Black Scar pirate kind of like has the same like bad guy face the whole time. I think you can either play that up or change up his expression, right? Like I think it's funny that he's kind of just like, no, we're just being, I was helping orphan children, and he looks like a bad guy the whole time, and he doesn't like cross over. So I think that's really funny. But he might need a little bit more acting, I guess. Yeah, the stone face joke is really good. Dominic says, that's so perceptive. The second half, I really didn't have as much time to play around. I'd love to spruce the last boards up and add more. Yeah, I think whatever he did on the front end is really good, and I think it'll just translate over to the back end. I think Black Scar might need a little bit of acting. Even if he's stone faced, you might need to have him like move a little bit, and you're like, no, like I was just helping children. He could still be looking like a bad
Those were
guy.
just unloved orphans. I was going to find them families once we came ashore.
That's so good. This is so good too.
You are the man on this poster, yes?
Yes.
Aha! So you admit to your crimes.
I got that protecting endangered species. My government is super fascist.
Yeah, it's all there. It's just nitpicky stuff at this point. It's like, oh, add an expression here, make sure the mouth poses
Surely
match up,
you have
etc.
other felonies.
It's really
past
funny.
Crime, perhaps.
No, I'm actually very clean.
Anything on your conscience? Maybe when you were younger, or like I don't know, under the influence.
I am straight edge.
What about that evil scar, huh? What's the story there?
Oh, I hit my head on a door when I was 5.
What's your credit score?
I have a platinum card.
Say you're eating at a diner, right? You go to leave.
Well, you
and
just have
The sharks kill me. The sharks are so good. It's so good. It's really good. This is really funny. I think the acting, like I said, everything that I made notes on is just very small stuff. Overall, I think it plays perfectly. The dialogue's funny. The payoff is funny at the end. Solid. Solid stuff. Big thumbs up.
to push in the chairs.
do you tell your girlfriend what to wear?
That sounds so toxic.
Well, it looks like we're at an impasse because somebody has to drown with the fish bubbles today.
What do you mean, fish bubbles? This is obviously a misunderstanding. We should all just go home and talk things over. I can order us pizza with pineapple on it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Really funny stuff. Hugo says, I love the timing of the comedy. I would definitely want to watch a show like this. Yeah, the timing is really good. The shot choices are really good. The acting is really funny. Dominic says, thank you. This is my second really serious storyboard. I put the other one on this stream a while ago. It was the one with the dog at the party. Oh, that one's good too. Yes, that one's really funny as well. I remember that one. That one had some like 180 issues. This one's a lot clearer, and I think it plays a lot better. But that one was really funny too. Dragon Scales, the shark bit was genius. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. And Hugo says, I agree though that the expressions could be explored more, but it's still so great. I think, yeah, like I said, I think it's just a time thing. Dragon Scales, I love that pineapples is what sends him over. Yeah, I wonder if that was... Very curious about these pineapple jokes. But no, good stuff. Overall, like, really good, like, I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, awesome. It plays really well. So I don't have anything else to say. Like, good stuff. Like, big thumbs up. Let me get that brush out. Yes. Oh no, that was supposed to be so cool. Oh yeah. Everyone had some really good stuff tonight. I was really impressed by everything. Even if I did critique or comment them, like, I thought everyone's stuff had potential and was going in the right direction. Like, I think everyone is doing good work, so big thumbs up to everyone. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. Do you guys have any more questions or anything else you guys want me to talk about? Pedro says, here in Brazil, it's 3 a.m. and I'm almost asleep. It was a busy day. Good night. Everyone's so amazing. Yeah, not a problem, Pedro. Thank you for showing your work. I think it's coming along nicely, and I think I can't wait to see more of it. Like, I think you have a good idea of what you want to tell, so just keep going with it. Dragon Scale says, this is one of the better comedy skits I've seen in a while. Yeah, I think it's really good. I thought it was really funny. Cool. Big thumbs up. Yeah, happy holidays, guys. Yeah, I guess that's it. 2019 is coming to an end. Thank you guys for all coming out, as always. And I hope you guys have a good break. I hope you guys get a break. I'm not sure where you guys are in life, but hopefully you have some time off to spend it with family, eat some good food. If you do the presents thing, there's this great game that my auntie has at her house every year. So basically, it's like musical chairs, but with a giant present. Dragon Scale says, could you talk about working on a team of story artists? And then Plant Cell says, stream incredibly helpful. So this is all. Hey, not a problem, Plant Cell. I'm glad you're learning something from it. New decade, because Rosie says, you guys ready for a new decade? Because I don't know if I am. Oh man. Story artist team. So I think most teams, at least for TV, are like 3 to 4 people, and there are probably 3 to 4 teams. So anywhere from 9 to 12 people on a full show just doing storyboards. That doesn't include the directors. Each team has like 1 director, so that'll be like 3 to 4 directors, and then sometimes there will be a supervising director above them, so 1 soup director, and then the showrunner above that. Working on a team is very fun because you can push each other, you can have creative brainstorming sessions with them, you can kind of push each other and create really cool work. You can learn. I learned a lot from the people I've worked with, both like my directors and my storyboard, my teammates, my coworkers, because I'll look at their work and see what's working, and I can implement that into my work. I can see what's not working and try to avoid that as well. I think in terms of technical work, it's just usually you'll have like a 30, anywhere from like a 22-page script to like a 30-page, and they just break it up. You get like what, 8 or 9 pages based upon how long the script is, and you just have to do the work. Sometimes those pages are in like huge chunks of 8 to 9 pages, so like you'll get 1 act basically, like first act, second act, third act. Or if it's a more complicated script, sometimes they'll break it up by location, or sometimes they'll just break it up by what they think you're good at. So if you're like really good at action stuff, they might just give you all the action stuff or all the dialogue stuff. So that's kind of like how you break up storyboards on a team. And yeah, in terms of feature, it's a little bit different because you don't always have the full script there to work off of. So they'll give you like little vignettes. They'll be like, let's say Jimmy goes to this grocery store, and I'll get that sequence. And someone's like, okay, you take the Jimmy goes and plays with his kid sequence, and then you take the Jimmy dies sequence, right? And so we'll independently work on these different sequences and then come together and then fix it and whatnot. So it's a little bit different in that sense for feature, and then for feature you'll go back and revise it over and over. So it's a little bit different, but it's kind of a similar process where you rely on your teammates and you have someone kind of guiding you. G2 Alex says, I like to get reviewed by you next year. Yeah, not a problem. Anytime. I'll let you guys know when the stream is up again, and I'm hoping to do more in 2020. I feel like 2019 was a good starting point, so 2020 will be even more. Hopefully I'll get more professional. Maybe I'll have a more professional background. Maybe I'll put up something in the back. Maybe I'll have it in the library next door. I don't know. It sounds like a dream. Sometimes, I think this applies to all jobs, but good coworkers make the job so much easier. No matter how hard the work is, if you have good coworkers, like people that are easy and nice to get along with, then the work is not so bad. If the work is easy, but you have terrible coworkers, it makes it so much harder. It just makes it's not fun to work with unfun people. Swarweb says, any tips for applying for jobs, revisionist positions? Do you go to the company's job listings and apply for storyboard work? That is how I think it's done now. That's how I do it now, is like I'll go to the website for the company, like DreamWorks or Disney or Netflix or Cartoon Network. They always have like a internet portal that you have to like submit your resume, submit your website, submit your work, type up what you did, etc., and that's where you'll go to do that. I'm going to try to get a recruiter to come on. I don't know I only know a couple, but hopefully if I have a better looking setup, they might be more inclined to come on. But I'll try to bring someone on to talk about recruiting specifically, like specifically recruiting and breaking into animation, because I think that'd be a huge help to everyone. So in 2020, I'll try to do that. I'll let you guys know if that happens. But as it stands, I would suggest just going to their website. Also checking the Animation Guild page. Sometimes I'll have listings about job positions there as well. And Twitter, people sometimes post on Twitter job positions. That's a little bit less consistent, but going to their website is probably my advice. Dragon Scale says that, and go to cons where they are recruiting. Yeah, go to cons. They always have like portfolio reviews, and you gotta talk to people there. You don't necessarily have to get your portfolio reviewed, but just talking to them and trying to get a business card, like making face-to-face contact with someone, is always really helpful, because they'll remember you and you'll remember them. So you can be like, oh yeah, when you email them, especially when you email them, you can be like, hey, I met you at the con. I spoke to you about Jimmy and the Stormtrooper, and you laughed a lot, or whatever. And then they remember who you are, and you make that personal connection, which is important. Minjay says, are there times when you wait for certain parts of storyboards to be finished first so you can work on your part according to it for continuity and stuff? Usually for TV, that's not the case, because in TV, everything is so quick. So if, like, let's say I have Act 2 and someone else has Act 1 and they're dependent on each other, I'll just talk with them as they're thumbnailing to make sure that we're kind of like on the same page and going in the same direction. But there's not usually enough time to be like, okay, I'm going to wait for you to do it and then I'm going to do it. Especially since the director will probably have notes on their stuff, so you can't wait for them to do the revisions and then do your work. So it happens all at the same time. Yeah, it sounds like you guys want a recruiter, so I'll try to see if I can get a recruiter on, see if they can give some good advice on how to get jobs and whatnot. But yeah, that's for 2020. 2020. Any other questions? You guys have any nice... Oh, I was talking about... Okay, so my auntie has this game. This is a Christmas party game, or even... It can be any day, any game, really. So basically, what you get yourself is like a radio, or like an iPod, or something that can play music that everyone can hear. Right? And it's like musical chairs, basically. So you get your boombox. You have one person sitting here who controls the boombox, right? And then you have everyone else sitting in a circle. Everyone's sitting in a circle together. And what you have, let me just draw out all these people, is a giant ball or shape that is basically newspaper, right? And what you do is you pass this ball around, this giant newspaper ball, and when the music stops, whoever it lands on, they start ripping that ball open, and basically it's a giant present that's been wrapped so many times, or it's like a small present that's been wrapped so many times that it's kind of like a matryoshka, or like a nesting egg. And when the music starts again, you start passing it around, and then when it stops, they try to rip it open as much as possible, and then they pass, and then whoever is able to get to the center of it when the music stops and rip it open is what they get inside. So this could be like the outer layer, and there's like another layer of paper on side, and another layer, and another layer. There's like 10 to 15 different layers of newspaper on the outside that you have to rip out, and it's basically like musical chairs with a present that people have to pull apart. So if you have a party you're going to, I would suggest doing that. It's a lot of fun. People really get into it. You can also put like little candies and coins on the inside between layers that'll like pop out and make things exciting. You know, I'll put in like maybe like a scorpion, like it scares some people with that. You know, it's a lot of fun. My auntie is like top-notch party planner. This game is a bop, as the kids say. It's a real bop. So definitely do that. Keep your revisions next year. It's incredibly helpful to us. So, you know, hey, not a problem. Not a problem at all. I like doing this stuff. This is fun for me. It keeps me fresh. I enjoy looking at you guys' work. It's really funny, and you guys have some really good stuff. So I like doing it. Animation Club at CSUF did this at their they did at their holiday party. I thought my auntie was like super cool and made it up herself, but yeah, it's fun. Let me tell you, it's really fun. Another fun one is, well, that one's the one that I always remember. That one's the best one. There's some other ones, but that one's a good one. Kay says your auntie is at CSUF. Yes, she's there. She's teaching people how to have a good time at a party. All right. Well, if there aren't any more questions about how to party, storyboard, then we'll tell the joke, and I'll see you guys in 2020. 2020. Let me see if I can find a Christmas joke. I really want a Christmas joke. Okay, this is not a Christmas per se joke, but it deals with the tree, so I'm thinking a Christmas tree. What does a tree wear? What does a tree wear once it is potty trained? What does a tree wear once it is potty trained? It wears underplants. Underplants. That is good. That's really good. Tell it to your friends. Tell it to your relatives. Woo, that'll be great. No, thank you guys. As always, I really appreciate you guys coming out and submitting your work. Oh, let me upload the storyboard. I'm going to put the notes in the same folder. Hold on, let me move all this stuff to. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. You guys gotta look at my face as I do this. It's uploading as we speak. As we speak. I plant handle it. Mercy. Oh, nice. Ayugo says 2020, going to play Risk and dominate my friends on Christmas. Whoa, Risk. Okay. Pro tip about Risk is get Australia. Australia is the cheapest place. There's only one way in, one way out, and you can just like load up all your units on those tiles where they have to break in. So that's my tip for playing Risk. Here is the shareable link for the notes. It's in the same upload folder that I linked on Twitter, so you can always find it there. But here it is as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys in 2020. Thanks for coming out, and I'll see you next year.